This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and for the next 4 hours, I'm your host and your guide as together we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X-Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And the X-Zone comes to you Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until 2 a.m. Eastern around the world on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and our growing family of broadcast affiliates and satellite distribution programming companies. 1-800-610-7035 is the magic number. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV, and our website. Yeah, you've got it. Same one we've had for 22 years, www.xzoneradiotv.com. My guest this hour is M Dyer, and we're going to be talking about women's understanding of beauty and how it can help her in motherhood. Now, Bermie is a woman's advocate. We're going to be discussing the importance of maintaining mind, body, and soul. Ask most girls and women, and they'll tell you developing a healthy relationship with their own beauty is a process. Now, this is a quote: a typical teenage girl has it rough. She blossoms physically into a woman, and the world takes notice. And while she may embrace this power as a young woman, she eventually wants to be appreciated for her inner beauty. And this is according to my guest this hour, Bermesola M Dyer, author of Getting Past the Ugly Through the Beauty of Self-Love, 30 Devotions for Higher Self-Esteem. And Bermie's her website is www.bermesola. I'm sorry, Bermie, help me out here.
Actually, it's so much easier if you Bermie.net. I actually have another webpage, so BERMIE.net.
Bermie.net. Fantastic.
Yes.
Bermie, welcome to the X-Zone.
Thank you so much, Rob. It's great to be here with you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and the story behind the story here.
Okay, let's see. Well, I'm a registered nurse, born and raised in San Jose, California. Actually a nurse practitioner now and working on my doctorate in nursing at Johns Hopkins University School of Nursing.
Wow.
And as you just mentioned, I recently wrote a book called Getting Past the Ugly Through the Beauty of Self-Love. And that book really stemmed from some of the struggles that I faced growing up, and some of my friends and colleagues that I noticed were also struggling with just accepting themselves for who they were or who they are now, and accepting themselves unconditionally, and not really getting caught up with all of the expectations that society tends to bring on women as far as what beauty is.
Is it society that brings on this expectation, or is it the advertising companies that want to promote beauty products, who want to promote perfection without actually taking the real inner beauty to task?
It's a good question. That question of which comes first, the chicken or the egg. Is
Right.
it society that demands this, and then the media and the public, the pop culture then transcends it, or does it go from pop culture to society? It's a good question. And either way, I think it's a culmination of actually the two, where we're kind of socialized into this idea of what beauty is by society and by popular culture and media, and together that kind of frames where women feel like we should be and what we should look like.
How prevalent has the new social media, Facebook, Twitter, and all the other social networking sites that are available to instantaneously get information around the world, how has this played into your formula?
That's a good question that I really haven't taken time to think about. I know now everyone's snapping pictures, so you have that instant media where you're able to see the real without any of the doctoring up. So as far as I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So as far as getting the real person and being able to see people in real life, I think that's a great opportunity in comparison to what the magazines are showing, where you've got all of the airbrushing and things that are hiding blemishes. So the social media is a great avenue for you to see just a real life picture and image of people being genuine.
Can this have a negative effect on girls as well? For example, you catch a girl in an off moment and somebody sends a message, look at how ugly this girl really is. Wouldn't that also affect the formula?
Definitely. I agree with that, especially because the purpose of oftentimes on Facebook they have the like.
Yeah.
They don't have dislike, but they have the like on there, and so oftentimes people are putting their pictures on there because they want others to like and validate and acknowledge them. And so what does happen when you think that this is a great picture that you're putting on, and you get a lot of negative feedback from it? It can definitely be devastating to a young girl. And they have the cyberbullying where girls are putting pictures on, and next thing they're getting all kinds of negative remarks and negative comments. So it's definitely it could be your best friend or your worst enemy, depending on which way it goes. You never know.
All right, Bermie, please stand by. You and I have to take our first commercial break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. X-Zone Nation. Bermie Dyer is our special guest. She's the author of Getting Past the Ugly Through the Beauty of Self-Love, 30 Devotions for Higher Self-Esteem. Her website is bermie.net, and we'll be back on the other side of this break. Don't go away. Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X-Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, aguidinglight, spelled LITE.com, to schedule your consultation today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
Exonation, Berme Dyer is our special guest this hour. She's the author of, now get out your pencils and papers, Getting Past the Ugly Through the Beauty of Self-Love, 30 Devotions for Higher Self-Esteem, and her website is www.bermie.net.com. That's BERMIE.net. Berme, what are good ways an overwhelmed mother can give to herself? Because mothers give 7/24, 365, and there are so many times that she's so busy being a mom that she just forgets about her.
You're so right. And so a few things that women can do is, one, just remember to take time out for yourself. Like you said, we're so busy constantly giving back to other people that we often forget that we have our own needs. And so just taking time out of the day, even if it's 10 minutes, and, every few hours, to take a walk or get some fresh air, to get away from the children just for a few minutes to kind of regroup and refocus, I think that's extremely important. At the end of the day, doing some deep breathing and meditation and prayer, and just so you can find a way to get centered. Like I said before, taking care of your needs. So often we're sending the children out. They've got their best foot forward. They're dressed from head to toe. And then we go out as mom, just kind of have our hair thrown all over the place. We don't put our makeup on. We don't wash. So just taking time out to put our best foot forward. When we look good, we feel good. And so working on our outer appearance as well as our inner appearance. And then not being afraid to ask for help. I know so often we think that we're supposed to be able to do everything on our own, but we're not super moms, and it's so important to ask others, reach out, ask the children, ask our husbands or our spouses or family, asking them for some help.
It reminds me of the song going back, I believe it was in the, I guess it was about 2005, between 1993 and 2005, a song by Charlene, Never Been to Me, where moms and ladies are always so busy taking care of everybody else that they inadvertently neglect themselves. How does a mom actually make time for herself in this very busy society that we find ourselves in?
One of the best things, well, first off, is just trying to figure out what is it that you like to do, because we're so busy. We live in such a hectic society where you kind of get caught up with taking the kids here and there and running around with them that you forget that you have things that you like doing. So making a list of things that you enjoy doing outside of your role as a mom or a wife. What do I like to do for myself? What do you like to do for yourself? And then asking the husband and the family members if they could just allow you to have at least an hour a week or 2 hours a week throughout, like on a Saturday, say 2 hours on a Saturday, that will be my time. So I have the time to go out and just give myself the professional growth and invest in myself. I think that's one of the things that's it's huge, that you don't lose your identity with the children and the family. Because what happens once the children are grown, 18, 19, and you've done so much investing in them, and you kind of look back like, oh my goodness, okay, now what do I do with my life? the children are gone, and now I'm left to figure out who I am again.
Sure. What happens if it's a single mom with no family, no help, no support?
That gets tricky. One of the things, especially with single moms, because they do have to invest oftentimes in child care, is if they have that day off from work, let's say if it's on they have a Monday off for Memorial Day or some type of holiday, still taking the child to the child care and allowing that time for them to be home by themselves, and while the child is still at child care, or from time to time if they can afford a babysitter, just for a couple hours so that they can get out and do a little bit of R&R away from the child so they can regroup and replenish themselves. I think that's important to do.
So many people hate asking for help. Is there an easy way a woman can explain her feelings of being overwhelmed to her family without losing her 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 front of being so secure and so in charge.
I have always felt that honesty is the best policy, especially when it comes to raising our children, because we give so much. And so not being afraid to say, I do need help. I do get tired sometimes. I do get frustrated. Can you, husband or spouse or significant other or children, especially if they have older children,